Welcome back, everybody. I want to share some numbers with you from a CNN opinion research poll. 69% of African Americans say they believe Dr. Martin Luther King's dream is now fulfilled. 69%. That's twice the number of people who say they felt the same way just a year ago. Love to know if Dr. King's son feels this very same way. Martin Luther King III joins us. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
you
nice
started the day early. We saw you in the videotape along with the president-elect visiting some of those wounded soldiers at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Why don't you first tell me what was that visit like? It seemed very low-key.
Well, actually, it was extraordinary, but my part of the visit was when we got to a facility for young people, and we actually were painting the facility.
Yeah, we noticed the president-elect was painting. I didn't see you doing a lot of painting. Were you?
Well, I was.
Okay,
I was
good,
talking and painting also. But it was an incredible experience, most of all, to spend time with those young people. And
what was their reaction to the president-elect?
Oh, like all of our reactions, like, wow, man, this is the president, you know. Hey, Mr. President. I mean, you know, it was just exciting to see them, these young men who probably have had trouble in their lives, and these young women as well. But there's a transformation that is taking place in our country, and the president-elect certainly is at the head of that transformation.
When you talk about a transformation, describe what you mean. Your father, of course, Martin Luther King Jr., was called transformative also, and was transformative. What do you think the transformation is here today?
Well, number one, we perhaps will make a 180-degree turn from where we were. There was a lot of bitterness, a lot of divisiveness, a lot of polarization. But that's not really who Americans are. Americans really want to be a part of something positive, want to help. I think President-elect Obama gives us that opportunity to do something. That's what the King holiday is about. Not just service on this one day, but throughout the year. Earlier you mentioned, do I feel that my father's dream is fulfilled? I feel a monumental step has been made, but there's no way that I could say his dream has been fulfilled. Maybe a part of his dream, as long as there are 37 million people living in poverty, 47 million people with no health insurance.
Well, I think that's an interesting point, because I think for many people who only know the I have a dream, a brotherhood part of the speech,
yes.
Then sure, that sounds like the dream is fulfilled.
Sure.
But if you actually listen to the whole speech, it was about economic justice.
That's right. That's right.
And financial parity for all Americans.
That's right, all Americans. And again, unfortunately, with this economic climate, and the president-elect has already told us, things are going to get worse, unfortunately, before they get better. But I think we celebrate today. We celebrate in an electrifying way tomorrow like we've never celebrated before. This reminds me of when President Mandela was inaugurated. I happened to be blessed to have been in South Africa at that time. This is our South African moment in the United States. But on January 21st, we got to roll up our sleeves, as the president-elect has challenged us, and work with him. It's going to take every one of us to make a difference and to rebuild and revitalize this nation.
He has used, certainly today, the Day of Service and your father's birthday celebration as a platform to draw the nation's attention. I mean, he was where you were today, painting, also drawing attention to the plight of homeless teenagers, where, you know, I know they house roughly 15 homeless teens,
That's
and I
correct.
thought, wow, it's so great that they do so many, and yet that's not that many in a city this size. I mean, it's so much more to do.
But the example is, you start with this one and inspire hundreds more, maybe even thousands more. You know, what's very sad to me is we come to our nation's capital, and this is the seat of government. A $3 trillion budget comes out of here just from the federal government, and yet we have the audacity to have homeless people. That's unacceptable, and I know the president-elect believes that and is going to work dramatically with Washington, D.C. This should be the blueprint for our nation. When people come to our nation's capital, they should be able to say, well, we don't have homelessness here, but yet if we can do it in Washington, we can do it in Chicago, we can do it in New York, we can do it in Atlanta, we can do it in Detroit. And you know, as the president-elect says, yes, we can.
He talked a lot about sacrifice, even in his speeches when he was on the train, Barack Obama, and a little bit at the concert yesterday. You know, it was kind of a sacrifice because of the economic climate, and also just sacrifice because it's a new day. And I always think when I hear that word for your family, you know, you sacrificed a lot because you gave up your father. You lost him to violence, but also sacrifice and sharing your dad with the world. You know, he didn't get to be all yours when he was killed. Everybody mourned. Everybody mourned. Was that difficult?
Well, clearly it was probably the most traumatic experience of my life, and that's the one thing. At 10 years old, the tender age of 10, your life is interrupted when a loved one is taken from you. But my mom and dad taught us that all in life we all perhaps will fall down or something will happen in our lives, but it's our responsibility to get back up and keep trying, and that's what we hopefully are about.
Martin Luther King III, nice to see you.
Yeah,
thanks. You've had a busy day.
A busy day. We're having a busy week. Incredibly exciting day.
Thank you for taking the time out to talk to us. We surely appreciate it. It's always nice to see. Oh, and I don't want to leave. I'd be completely remiss if I did not thank you for allowing us to re-air in its entirety your father's speech, the I Have a Dream speech. What a great opportunity for us. We're really grateful.
Thank you.
Ahead today, he was a tech-savvy candidate. He'll